ago, in a faraway land, there lived a young boy named Merlin. Now, Merlin was poor and had little hope for education. His father had died in the recent wars, and so he lived with his mother, trying to eke out a living in the countryside. Despite the hardship, Merlin had many interests, and he taught himself to read, and would do so when he had the books. Due to its promise of gold, he also took an interest in alchemy. Now, with each passing year, life grew harder for Merlin and his mother, and one winter, his mother grew ill and died. With nothing left, Merlin packed up and said goodbye to his home. He gathered the few coppers he had left and left. One day, as Merlin was walking down the road, he came across a large blue box. "That's interesting," he said. "What is this? And what is that written at the top? Police Public Call Box. What does that mean?" As he curiously walked around this box, a man suddenly came running out of the bushes. Upon learning his name, this man handed Merlin a giant manuscript and disappeared into the box. Merlin looked down and saw that the title of this massive book was Mastering Chemistry, 7th edition. Confused, Merlin turned around to ask the man, but the box had vanished. Confused, Merlin stowed the book and continued on his way. For the next few weeks, Merlin read this book, and he realized that this stranger had handed him a manuscript of advanced alchemy. Merlin kept reading, and he learned of atoms and electrons and orbitals. Merlin, he was amazed. Upon thinking and reading, he realized that with his bag of copper coins, maybe there was a chance. So, one night, Merlin was finally ready to begin. He set up a pot over his fire, and to it, he added a single copper coin. Over this coin, he poured in a brown liquid that matched the description of one he had found in the alchemy manuscript. And inside Merlin's pot, a chemical reaction took place. His copper, his brown, and so Merlin created the following two products. Merlin had now made these, but he wanted this. And to get to this, he realized, I can add a big bulky base. The next day, when the sun was out and shining, Merlin added his NBS and some of that sunlight in DCM, which he had lying around, of course, to create this 2-bromobutane. And through the addition of a less bulky base, he was able to create this new two beauties. Dead dragon, two pickpocketed trolls, and several shrubberies later, Merlin had managed to acquire all the reagents he needed for his next two steps. He needed to create this alcohol. By adding osmium tetroxide and hydrogen peroxide, and then by adding phosphorus tribromide and pyridine, he created this lovely little thing here. And finally, with a little bit of sodium hydride in DMF, he was done. He had made what he had set out to. For he had turned copper into gold. In case you got lost, here is the full thing. Merlin's method of turning copper into gold.